So now we shall welcome Antonio, who is from the EDP, and he's going to continue this theme of energy empowering citizens.
Okay, thank you, and I'm very pleased to be here to present the situation that we have developed in the last years in EDP distribution. The title of my presentation is Empowering Citizens, and basically because, first of all, our business is power, and second, because in fact we are focusing on our business the benefits for the citizens, and I will present that in the following presentations. A small presentation about my company. My company, EDP, basically is a company that are developing in the last years what we can call the clean energy strategy, because in fact we are basically investing in renewables in the last years, our main investments. My company, EDP Distribution, is a company that is a distribution system operator in Portugal, and we have 6 million customers here in Portugal. And basically our main focus and the presentation that I will do in the next slide is about the developments on the grid. And basically I want to start by the electrification challenges, because now we can say that even the sky is not the limit with the last year flight from Solar Impulse traveling along all the globe. And it shows that in fact it's possible to start to look for a lot of challenges coming from what is the results from decarbonization for the economy. And basically we think that this dialogue between climate change and energy is very profitable for the point of view of our business and the future of our society. From the distribution operator system, obviously our focus continues to be to keep the lights on, and basically in the last years EDP Distribution has presented very strong figures about. We have now less than 1 hour per year of interruption time, and that is very significant when we compare with the situation that we have here in a 10 years period of time. But even if we are a distribution operator, we are focusing a lot about new business models that can impact on this business. And as an example, for example, here in Portugal, we have a strong participation of renewables connected to the grid. More than 80% of the renewables wind power, basically wind power and hydropower, is connected to the distribution grid. And as an example, is during 4 entire days in the last year, it was possible to supply all the electric system in Portugal only supported by renewables. Basically a mixture between wind power and energy. But from the point of view of this focus on the customer, I would like to present what we have now in entire Europe. Here in this picture, you can see a grid covering the entire continent, and basically without a centralized system that manage all this network. All the networks in Portugal, Spain, France, and the rest of Europe is connected, and with interconnections that allows to enable the market to work. For example, in Portugal and Spain, we have only one entity that manages the offer of the price of energy, and basically the interconnections offer the power enough to share and to allow the market working during all the year. But in fact, when we talk about the network, about the grid, in fact, we have a lot of systems that support the service that we are supplying. We have here in Portugal per year more than 10 million of contacts, but from the commercial support lines to some SMS or other connections that we have from all the customers that are supplied by our grid. And in fact, all these challenges bring us to develop, starting in 2007, with a project that Luis talked about before, that is a project in off-grid. And the big difference from this project, the traditional project we are developing, is that from the first starting, we worked with partners. We are not developing a project by EDP itself. We put together jointly all the partners that are basically suppliers, inclusively the academia like INESC that supported us from the first beginning. And from the first beginning, we focus these business models that will support what is now called the smart grid. We basically focusing the benefits not only for the distributor, but as well for the benefits for the final user, as I said, the customer. And as you can see here, we covered during this project from the first beginning all the value chain, from the systems to the home of the customer. Inclusively, we provided in the beginning connections between what we call the EDP box, that is substituting the old meters, with the gateway that provide the information online to the final customer. With this infrastructure that we started to develop from the first beginning, as I said, covering all the value chain, we try to identify the value creation for all the stakeholders involved, not only for the distributor, but for all the others developers. Here you can see, for example, how we can see this multi-platform system that we developed from the first beginning. So overposed by the infrastructure, you have this possibility to provide the final customer with information not only about the consumption, but as well about information that if the customer is a micro producer, for example. It is possible here with this infrastructure to provide for the final user all the information that he needs to manage the premises remotely. So he can, for example, to be in London and manage all the loads that he has at their home, and inclusively the micro production, take decision about, for example, maintenance, cleaning of the installation that is needed. So all this infrastructure could be considered a multi-platform solution that we are providing for all the stakeholders involved. But basically, our focus, as I said before, we, from the first beginning, tried to identify a lot of business models supported in this infrastructure, and basically trying to identify not only the central role for the distributor, but as well, as I said, the benefits for all the customers and the stakeholders involved. And for this, we started to develop a lot of projects that demonstrate in real, because here this project is, from the first beginning, we tried not have only a concept and a pilot to demonstrate the concept. We go to the field and we demonstrate the concepts on the ground, working with real customers, with real operators on the field. For example, this is an example from some developments that we made with sustainable. Some of you are talking about figures. For example, here with this project, the project is Project Sustainable, was completed in the 2016. And basically the tools and the solutions that we developed with our partners, inclusively in ESC, we show that it's possible to reduce the renewables curtailment connect to the distribution network on more than 75%, or to reduce the costs with ancillary services in more than 34 percentage of the decreasing these costs that we are providing. So basically working with a real network, with real partners with this concept in a project, obviously in a controlled area, but where it's possible to demonstrate all these figures. About, for example, storage, we are now in a project. The project is a European project. So the name is Sensible. We have demo sites here in Portugal, United Kingdom, and Germany, where we are focusing the participation of the storage installation even outside the distribution network, working with partners that have basically some small batteries connected to the photovoltaic panels in order to demonstrate the benefits with the management integrated system and integrating services coming from the customers. So this project is still ongoing. About cities, I would like to call basically two projects. One that is sharing cities, a big project where Lisbon, Milan, and London are the lighthouse cities. The project is a very big project, as I said, and basically our main interest is to develop urban platforms where we can share with the different stakeholders data and information that could bring value for all the stakeholders involved. Another project is InSmart. InSmart is a project that finished this year, the last year. And basically here we have demo sites in Évora, Nottingham, Cézanne, and Tricalda for cities where we develop these different concepts. But basically what is interesting is to support the planning of the municipalities with information coming from this infrastructure, and where it's possible to see the impact of the planning taken by the municipalities, including the decision from the customer. So we developed with our partners tools that are possible to forecast with what will be the result of this planning if the citizens take a decision, for example, to have more microvoltaic panels or wind power, or to be more efficient. And with these tools, we presented to the municipalities the value coming from these tools that we're developing. And another project that I will talk about is about Integrity. This project started this year. Is a demo project where we are working with other demo sites in Sweden and Slovenia. And basically here is a demo site, it's a demo project because basically we are trying to integrate all the concepts that we developed in the projects that I presented before in a bigger projects, and in order to demonstrate the real impact on a network. And in Portugal, the demo sites covers one area that goes from Évora to the central part of Portugal, integrating different concepts in this development. Basically, as I said from the first beginning, we gave big visibility to the project that we developed. And for example, here you can see the origin, the different countries where came visitors to go to Évora and to see what we are developing in real. We have more than 42 countries visiting physically the demo site that we have in Évora, and with more than 3,000 visitors there. The ecosystem that we developed, all these projects, is very significant, and here you can have an overview with different countries and academias that are working with us in these projects. And basically, Évora, after these 10 years, is basically a living lab, and is still visited by a lot of people that wants to see what is the main goals that we are getting there in the municipality, because in fact we are covering all the municipality. What we made during all this process, we make a lot of effort in order to interact directly with the citizens in this municipality, showing the benefits of this kind of solutions that we are presenting, and basically trying to open doors for every customer that wants to have more information about these new concepts that we are developing. Inclusively, we have still now in Évora one shop where we have the main devices that we developed, where the customer can go there and ask some doubts that they have about different developments that we have there. The visibility of the project, in fact, in 2011, I suppose, it was recognized by the European Commission, the GRC Center, and inclusively by the Association of Electricity in Brussels, Euroelectric. After all this effort, what we are doing, as you see in this map of Portugal, we are not only in Évora now, we are spreading the concept and the infrastructure by all the country. Now we have more than 700,000 EDP boxes installed, and we have more than 1 million of readings from this infrastructure, and we are executing already a lot of remote orders there. So where we are thinking to arrive, so basically we are expecting to cover all the country with this infrastructure. Now we are expecting in the end of this year to get 1 million of these EDP boxes installed, but we are expecting to have possibility to arrive to all the country with 6 million. So it's basically this presentation that I have to show to you, and basically I'm ready for any questions from your side. Thank you.
I hadn't heard of Évora before, so it was good to get some more information on all of that. Does anyone have any questions, since we're concluding this session on empowering citizens with alternative forms of energy? No questions? Yes, please.
What's the customer feedback been in terms of the stakeholder engagement, and I mean, what has their reaction been to the different platforms that you've used?
So basically, for example, during the project that we developed in Évora, we tried to do the project in the entire municipality in order to have a system that could be controlled. And basically, we measure the impact of this infrastructure from the first beginning to after 1 year and after 2 years. The first impact on the customer is that they benefit because they have in the end of the bill that they have from the metering is no more estimated, is a real measure. That is very important for them. And basically how we think that could be measured. We analyzed the impact on the efficiency on consumption, for example. And we compare the results that we get in Évora with another area very close to Évora, with very similar to Évora, but without the impact of this infrastructure. And when you compare the consumption of the entire citizens in Évora, so we work with all of them. So we have not worked only with a pilot, we worked with the entire municipality, and in the end, after 1 year, the efficiency gain was 4%. And after 2 years, it keeps 4%. So it is in fact persistent, this impact with this infrastructure. Additional to this, we have another project that I have not talked before. Is a project, a European project, is S3C, involving as well customers. And there we try to define the impact of, for example, gamification. We developed a game that involves basically young people, but not only young people from the schools. We have not discriminated nobody. Everybody could participate in this gamification. And the first three in the end of this game, that is during some months, they increase the efficiency in their home in more than 30% with this kind of technology that we are providing. So you can measure this in this way. Obviously, you can have other ways to measure it. For example, you are not no more disturbing the people when you need to change the meters or something like that. We have figures for that as well, but I think that the efficiency gain that we identified in Evra and in other places could be a very significant impact that we have with this engagement that we have with the customers.
So measurable results, and I'm sure there's more information available on request. So,
okay.
Thank you, Antonio.
Okay.